So hey guys, in this video I'll be explaining about unique path 2 from DP section. So this question is from LeetCode. So actually there are two problems, unique path 1 and unique path 2. So I have already made a video of unique path. So I'll put the link of that video in the description of this video. So we'll go and first watch that video. So in that video I have explained. So the problem is pretty much similar. So this problem and that problem is almost similar, but in this problem there is one extra condition, that what if there are some obstacles in some of these cells. So how, like, number of ways of reaching this particular robot from here to here will change. So I'll highly recommend you to go to watch that video first and then come back to this video, because in that video I have explained like every details of that, like how a particular cell will be the value from copying from above and the left. So all the details that I've already explained in this video. So just go and watch that video and come to this video again. So hoping you watch that video. So now I'll be explaining like what if there is a obstacle in a grid. So let's say, like, so when the robot will move in this first row and in the first column, so in the first row let's say there is some obstacle over here. So in that case, so the robot will have only one choice to reaching this cell, this cell, this cell, and let's say there is a obstacle here. So in that case the robot will not move in any of these cells. So the number of ways of reaching these two cells will be 0, and also for this cell is 0 because there is an obstacle in that. So let's say there is an obstacle in the first column. Let's say obstacle is here, and let's say there are more number of cells down to this cell. So robot will start from here. There is only one way to reach here, and there is obstacle over here. So the number of ways will be, the number of ways of reaching to this particular cell would be 0, and all the cell down this in the first column the robot cannot reach. So the number of ways of reaching into these cell would be again 0. So now for the remaining cells, like what would be in the case for the remaining cells? Let's say these are the remaining cells. So let's say there's a obstacle over here. So in that case, in this particular cell the robot cannot reach. So the idea will be same like unique path 1, but we'll only consider in this cell in which there is no obstacle. So if there is an obstacle, we'll just fill it with 0 and we'll compute for the remaining cells. So let's say there is an obstacle over here and you want to compute for this cell, but you can reach to this cell. So in that case we are copying from the value. We are, for computing for this cell, we are adding these two values and then we putting this value to this particular cell. So let's say there is an obstacle here. So the number of ways of reaching here will be 0 because the robot cannot reach to the cell which contains the obstacle, and here the robot will reach by some ways. So we'll just copy this value to this value because you cannot come to this particular cell from left side. So that's it. So this is the only difference from the unique paths 1 and unique paths 2. So I'll explain the code now. So we have obstacle grid is the name of this grid. So we computed the number of rows and number of columns in that. So that's what I have written here. So m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So we make a DP array of long n, so which is essentially the matrix in which the robot is moving. So I'll fill all the values to 0, and similar to the unique path 1, this is for the case for first like row, and this is for the first column. So in unique path 1 I didn't put this code, I only write this, and in column I only write this, but here I am putting one extra condition. Let's say obstacle of 0 I equals to 1. Essentially, and the wherever the value is 1, which means that it's representing an obstacle over here. So in this case there is only one obstacle in this grid, so here, so that's what I am putting this condition. What if there is obstacle in the first row itself? So we'll go and fill all the values unless we get until we get a obstacle there, right? And after that we break and come out of this loop. So we already fill all the values with 0. So now I'm filling all 1 to each cell in the first row. Let's say 1 1 1. Whenever we get a obstacle grid 0 I equals to 1, which means there is a obstacle over here in this cell, so we'll break and come out of this for loop, which means we don't reach to the cells after the obstacle in the first row. So that's what I have explained. Let's say there is here obstacle, so we cannot reach into this cell, and this cell. That's what it means. We will break and come out of this for loop. The similar for the first column. So if there is obstacle grid I0 equals to 1, which means if you find like obstacle in any of the cell in the first column, so we just break and come out of this for loop, and you just fill all the values that 1 which is above this obstacle. So let's obstacle is here, so we'll fill 1 here, and after that including this cell down all the cells we put like 0. So we're coming out of this loop. For the remaining cells, for I equals to 1, I less than m, j equals to 1, j less than n, so I am computing this only for the cells which doesn't have an obstacle. So obstacle of grid ij equals to 0. Then we are computing this. We are taking the values from above cell and the left cell and taking sum of these two cells and then replacing in dp of ij, and then at the end we are returning dp of m minus 1 and minus 1. So that's it, the code for this. So I will again emphasize on the fact that you just go and watch unique path 1, then I am pretty sure you'll understand this code easily. So there I have explained like why I am taking the sum of these two cells to compute these cells. So every details I have explained over there. So if you watch that video, I am very sure that you will get this code very easily. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching this video, and yes, so you can watch more related videos on our channel, and if you like our content, subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like this video. So that's it. Have a nice day. Thank you.